E.G., it really would not be the NBC Film Festival if I came out here and didn't have a chance to talk with you.
Wow, see, if I couldn't look forward to seeing you here, I wouldn't show up.
Oh, that's very nice. The NBC might have something to say about that, though.
Not a heck of a lot.
So, you're in a new day and a new time slot with the Bold Ones this season?
And we regard it as season number 1. Each season we like to think that we're starting afresh, that we have to start all over again to provide the kind of entertainment that the American public has come to expect and deserves. And we really are exhilarated by the prospect of starting a new season.
Are you pleased, and do you think it's going to be better for the show to be Tuesday night rather than Sunday night?
Well, many people plan their lives around the weekend, and they go out. We're great traveling people, the Americans. We're very mobile. We like to move around, and we plan our social activities because the family's all together on Saturdays and Sundays, and I think we'll increase our audience by many, many thousands because of the Tuesday night. The people have had their weekends, they've had their excitement, they've had their social gatherings, and now they can sit down and watch what we hope and we try to give is good, solid entertainment.
And of course, I was thinking, as I was preparing this interview, E.G., that maybe the title should be The Bold One, because the Doctors is the only one this season.
Well, there's 2 of us. There's David Hartman and me. We survived it all. And I think that's indicative of the situation in the country today. We started out, the first season, there was the law enforcers and the lawyers and the doctors, and then there was the politician, the lawyers and the doctors, then there was the lawyers and the doctors, now there's just the doctors. I guess there's a need for doctors in our country.
I wonder, do you think that the reason for the doctors being the most popular is that people have more to identify with, or what? How would you analyze that, E.G.?
Well, I think we're very concerned about the state of our health in this country. Many newspapers and many magazines have health columns, and people are thinking more about preventive medicine. In the past, no one ever thought about a doctor until he was sick or he had an accident. But now we're thinking in terms of preventive medicine, immunization and so forth, and that's what the new medicine is about. See a lawyer before you get in trouble, not afterwards. See a doctor before you get sick, because there is preventive medicine and there are preventive measures a lawyer can take to keep you out of trouble when you're forming a partnership or buying a home or an automobile or getting into some business or whatnot. A lawyer can prevent legal accidents, and a doctor can prevent health accidents.
Will you be having more guest stars this year than you have in the past, do you think?
Yes, we're having some marvelous people. Dick Basehart, an old friend of mine, is in one now, and also Dorothy Malone. So there are 2 top stars.
A Dallas girl, Dorothy Malone, is a
yes,
Dallas
indeed.
girl.
And I told Dorothy that I was in Dallas not too long ago, and I knew she was a Dallas gal. And I said, well, I'd never be able to locate her. And she says, I'm in the telephone book. But don't call her. Let her call you. Yes, I know. She's an old friend. We worked together many years ago. And it was nice to see her again. And she's a very civic-minded woman, and she's very lovely, on top of it all. And so it was nice to see her again, nice to see Dick Basehart again. And that's the caliber of people that we will attract to the show this year.
I know, E.G., that one of the things you do when you're not before the cameras, and it's a civic thing as far as you're concerned, you work with a group called Cancer Care. What is that precisely?
Well, it's an organization that concerns itself with the relatives and friends of the cancer victim. They're the forgotten person. Everyone is running around and feeling deep sympathy for the cancer victim, the doctors and the sociologists and the social workers, but what about the child whose problems are enormous, and he is in danger, he fears of losing a parent, and his other parent is so concerned that doesn't have time for him, and it's counseling, how to meet this situation should it arise. There is now a discipline in the health sciences called thanatology. We've got to concern ourselves in a more productive way with the time when the Lord calls us. And none of us is prepared for that. And we're trying to find out through our scientific procedures and disciplines to meet that day more gracefully.
Are you set up
painlessly.
with chapters around the country, local chapters, or how's it set up?
Well, it's mainly in the state of New York at the moment, in Connecticut and New Jersey, but it's the sort of thing that could spread around, and I think it will, because we're many ways, a very healthy nation, that we don't get smallpox, we don't get infantile paralysis, we don't get tuberculosis. Now the major enemies are heart disease and cancer, and medical science is working on that, but also on the humanitarian level, we have to come to some way of dealing with this ourselves and our families. And some of us just die on our sleep, just peacefully go off to where we go, and it's just preparing ourselves for that day. And the survivors are very important in this too, because dealing with the loss of a loved one is a very difficult thing, and some people do it more successfully than others, some through their religion, some through just some equanimity, some peace of mind that they've acquired, and we could pass it on. And Cancer Care is helping with that trauma of serious illness and the loss of a breadwinner or a loved one or a homemaker.
E.G., our time is up, but again, thank you so very much for spending this time with us today, and all the best of luck to you with the Bold Ones in its new time slot, Tuesday nights on Channel 5.
Lovely seeing you again.